Welcome to this presentation on how to set up the mesh for a external flow is what I'm going to start with, and then I'll do internal flow. And I have this helmet here that I want to look at the flow around it. And so again, two options. So the first one is to create a solid around this and then cut it in SolidWorks. So most of the prep here, actually all the prep will be in SolidWorks. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So I want to look at the flow direction. So I want it to go like I had my face in here and the wind was blowing into my face. So I want to sketch a cylinder that puts this in the middle of it. So I'm going to go ahead and do a sketch. The plane I'm looking for is the plane that is the one that the wind would blow into, which is that plane right there. So I'll have that be my sketch plane. And I'm just going to draw a circle. You could do a box around it. Again, there's more to it to determine what the domain shape is, but the helmet's already a little bit round, so we'll go ahead with a circle. All right, now I want to extrude that over top of my, or around my helmet, and to give it initial distance away. So you can take this and drag it. Again, you can do a blind or whatever. Again, there's more to it than just picking some distance. You need to be strategic, but for right now, I'll just say this is how we do it. Then we'll go back, and we'll go back 5 inches as well there. And go ahead and click OK to get the extrude there. Now I did miss something here. If we go back in here and edit definition, you can do this the first time too. I just keep forgetting. You do not want to merge results. So you want to uncheck this. So you do not merge your cylinder with the helmet, which would make it all just one solid cylinder. You want to make sure the helmet is still a distinct entity, all right, along with the cylinder. So uncheck the merge result there. All right, so they're both there. You can't really see it because of the cylinder. Now what we want to do, because of symmetry, we want to cut this in half. Now if you don't have symmetry, you can skip to the next step. But for now, if you have symmetry, it's going to be helpful to kind of see what's going on. So again, if you don't have symmetry, it's fine. It'll still work with the next step. All right, so I want to cut this thing in half. So I want to find the plane that's on the side here, which is the right plane. So I'll select the right plane, and then I'm just going to draw a big sketch there that I can use as my cut plane, and I'll confirm that. And then I want to go to Features and Extruded Cut, and I want to go the opposite direction so I can kind of see it on my natural way the problem usually shows up. And I'll go through all to make sure I get everything cut. And there's the other thing you want to make sure down here in Feature Scope, you don't want to do just the selected body. You want to make sure all bodies get cut in half. All right, so we'll go ahead and do that. So we get there, and so now we can see here's that cylinder we made, and here's the helmet, what's left over. All right. So again, the cylinder is going through that helmet. That's why you're kind of getting this weird fuzzy look that's going on there right now. We want to make those two separate entities, and so what we're going to use to do that is this Intersect option. All right. So click on the Intersect option, and it's already got the one extrude pre-selected, and we want to select the other one. So we just come here from the feature tree, the solid bodies. We'll select the other one. So we had the helmet. And we just selected the cylinder that we drew around it. We'll click on Intersect. And this is where we would exclude one region if we don't want to include it. We'll include both regions, which is fine. But we just, again, down here, we do want to make sure the result is not merged. All right, so that'll give us two distinct items. All right, and that's it. So that's going to create our mesh for our helmet. Or at least the region which we will mesh in ANSYS. So let's go ahead and save this. All right, and I will go in Tools and go into ANSYS. And it should bring up the geometry here. There's the geometry, and this is for Fluent study, so bring this over. We'll connect the geometries. Now one thing you want to do before we get into the mesh program first, we do want to do one thing in geometry here, and that is, especially if you're going to do an FSI study, a fluid structural interaction, you still want the structure piece, you still want the helmet. So we want to keep that as part of it. Oops, sorry, I did the default, which is Space Claim instead of DesignModeler. Here, I'll close out of here and we can do DesignModeler. They both have very similar cases here. All we're doing is we're going to suppress the helmet. So let me close out of here and I'll do DesignModeler. So right click on Geometry and edit DesignModeler. All right, we need to generate the part because we need to basically transfer it into ANSYS's DesignModeler format. So we need to generate, and we're waiting for the conversion. Down here you can see in the bottom left what's happening. And we got the two parts here, so there's the mesh domain, the domain we want to mesh for the fluid flow, and there's the helmet by itself. Again, for the fluid process, we want to go ahead and suppress the helmet, and that's it. So we'll close geometry, and we'll go into mesh. And I'll show it on this case. The second case that I'll do, I'll not show this step. So now we're in the mesh program, and maybe name our surfaces first. So I'll select the front here, and I'll go velocity inlet. Doesn't always have to be velocity inlet, but typically it is for what we're doing. All right, the back here is the pressure outlet. This is our far field. And this is the symmetry surface. All right, and all these fields we didn't name in here, Fluent will pick up as wall surfaces, so no slip. But you want to make sure this surface is declared as symmetry, so it has a slip condition, which recognizes as symmetry. All right, so with all those, we probably didn't have to name them first, but I did, so that's fine. Go ahead and update to get our mesh on there. It goes through meshing the surfaces. And it looks like it was successful. And you can see the mesh there. All right, and that's all ready to take into Fluent. All right, so that's the first option. So let me close out of all these. All right, the second option, if we go back and we're going to delete these, go back to our original, what we had. Actually, probably should undo here. Let me undo everything I did here. All right, so back to just the basic helmet. The other option is to do the filling the domain, defining where the fluid domain is, and let that be done in ANSYS. All right, and the way we do that is we start out actually very similar in the same way, and we're going to draw that circle around the helmet, but instead of it being a solid cylinder, it's going to be a pipe. All right, so we'll do a front plane is what we want. And we'll do the circle. All right, and looks like it's good. And we'll come in here to features and we'll extrude. And we'll just do it blind. Let's do 4 inches. And 4 inches here. Now I did it the same way, right? Solid cylinder. All right, but what's easier here is, I mean, you can draw just 2 circles, concentric circles, and then have them just a little bit of a space between them and actually create a pipe. And then you have to put lids on it. But this way is a little bit easier. We'll just say there's a thin feature with caps on the ends. So now it's going to have basically a pipe which is already capped, and you got your helmet in there. You just need thin caps. Doesn't have to be much, just enough that it's all contained within that space. All right, again, we don't want result merged. And we'll do the green check there. All right, so that's what we have there. So the helmet should be hidden inside. We'll go ahead and save it. And we'll take it into ANSYS. Should bring up the geometry here again. There it is. All right, so then we'll bring over Fluent. Connect our geometry. There we go. And now right click and go into DesignModeler. All right, you can see in the bottom left, attach creation. So again, we got to get it into the DesignModeler format, so we'll generate there to bring it in. All right, so you see the helmet is inside there. It's all capped off. So the first thing you need to do is go in here to Tools, and we'll go to Fill. And we'll change from cavity to bicaps. All I did was double click there, or you can use the drop down menu to go to it. That's all you need to do, and then go ahead and generate again. All right, and now let's look at what we have here. We got the helmet and we got the solid. All right, so it looks like it's completely solid, but it does have the helmet cut out of there. So let's see here. If we take the helmet and we we'll suppress that. All right, looks like it's all good there. So, but we want to do the same thing. I want to exploit symmetry, and so here's how you can exploit symmetry in here. So I go to the sketching tab right here, and it looks like the default plane that I'd be drawing in right now is the YX plane. You can see how the dashed lines, dotted lines are going out from that. You can also see up here, XY plane. I don't want the XY plane. That's not my symmetry plane. My symmetry plane is YZ plane. So I'm going to change this up here to the YZ plane. All right, and looks like it zooms far out. And so I'll zoom back in here. And it was a strange direction there. Anyways, reorientate there. All right, so that's the plane on which I want to draw my cut plane. So same thing, I'll just select a rectangle and make sure you just get the whole thing covered in it. There we go. So click from one end to the other, and that's all you need to do. So come up here to slice. So I clicked on slice, and it says base plane. Well, I want to use the one I just created. So on here, expand. There's my sketch. So I'll apply, and it needs to generate there because of the lightning bolt. So I'll go ahead and generate. Sliced it right in half. All right, but now I want to suppress that side. So you got this solid side, and you got this solid side, and we'll just pick one of them to keep, and we'll suppress the other one. And there you go. What you have left is your domain you can now take into the mesh program and mesh. All you have to do is close. You don't need to do any saving. All right, so that's how you can do that via DesignModeler program and using a pipe. So that was external flow, and so what I'll do and show you next is for internal flow. All right, so now we're going to look at defining a mesh for internal flow. And one of the ways to do this, well, let's do it in the same order as last time. So we're going to create a solid cylinder around our whole valve. So we're looking at the flow through this valve and the pipes. So let's start by drawing a cylinder around it. So we'll go create a new sketch. And the plane, let's just start on this plane right here. So we can just extrude it down the whole pipe. So we just draw a circle that is going to encompass the whole pipe. So that works. And I'll click on the circle, and you can know the resource monitor keeps showing up here. It's problems with what SolidWorks is seeing here. All right, so go ahead and extrude that over the whole thing. So we'll go through all, but we need to make sure we go the other direction. There we go. And don't merge the result again, so uncheck that. So again, basically we want this whole cylinder, we want the cylinder to cover the whole object. So however you want to do that. So we'll check that off. And now we're going to use the Intersect feature. So we'll go up to Features and Intersect. All right, so we have the Boss Extrude, which is that cylinder, and we'll come down here, FeatureTree, and go to the Solid Bodies, and we'll get the fillet, which is basically everything else, the valve, and select Intersect. All right, so which regions do we want? So the regions to exclude. Which ones do we not want to include? So you click on here, and you can see, well, that's our flow regime. That's what we want to keep. So this one we definitely want to get rid of, and we probably want to get rid of region 3. Yep, that's just the outside pipe. So we'll go ahead and click on that to get that removed. Merge result, go ahead and click on that because we want to keep everything that's left. And so we'll green check, and there's our fluid domain. And you can just take that right in. There's nothing really to do. If you had symmetry, you could cut it here, or you could cut it in DesignModeler like I show for external flow. But otherwise, you take that right into the meshing program of ANSYS. All right, so that's one way to do it. So let's delete this and go back to the start. Actually, let me just undo stuff here. All right, so that's the one way. The other way is to put lids on either end here, and then we'll fill the domain in ANSYS. So this has already got some lids put on here, but let me get rid of these, and so I can show you how we can do this. All right. Then there's a nice lid feature that comes with Flow Simulation. So if you have Flow Simulation, you can just go in here to create lids, and you select the planar face. So you come in here and select the in face here, and you can do the other side while you're at it, like that, and green check it, and you should be good to go. And that's what we would take into ANSYS. If you don't have flow simulation, no problem. Basically, you just want to draw a circle right here, right on this face, and then extrude it out just a little bit. All you're going to do, your objective is to seal everything inside this valve and the pipe assembly here. So you're just creating a seal so it knows where it should stop meshing. So just create a extruded little thin cylinder right on either end, and those will be your caps. All right, so we'll save this now. All right, and minimize this guy, and hopefully get rid of, stop having those SolidWorks errors pop up. Oh, before I do that, let me go into Tools and ANSYS, and we'll open Workbench. Actually, let me just close SolidWorks so we can get those errors out of the way there. All right, so we'll close that. And I'm going to bring in the geometry here. And we're doing this for Fluent, so I'll drag it over. And I'll drag over geometry. And so we'll go into geometry now. Edit, right click, and then click on DesignModeler. And we need to generate to get it in the DesignModeler format. There's a valve, and so we should be able to just go into Tools and Fill, and double click here, get it by caps, and generate again, and come in here and just suppress our valve, and we're left with the solid. And I can rename this and call it it's really our fluid. All right, and you take that in like I showed before, and take that right into your mesh domain, or sorry, the mesh program, and go ahead and mesh it and name things accordingly. All right, so I hope that help was useful, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Thanks.